So the last couple videos, I have been sharing my organization strategies and reflections this summer. And one of the things I realized is something really basic. Like, what are the tools, what are the resources I use to label and organize my short boxes? Hey, this is James, and I just wanted to spend a few minutes, a few moments, hopefully, uh, rambling on about how I set up my short boxes. Now, a caveat before I get like deep into it, and hopefully it's really not that deep. This is what I found works for me. If you do something that works for you, keep doing it. Okay. But what I've realized over the past few months is by sharing, but also listening to what other people do, I find new tips, new strategies, new systems that really do make a difference for me. I'm going to start with some basic tools, some basic resources. And as I have been curating my books this summer, I'm realizing that some of these are going to be an investment that's going to take more time, and that's okay. The first thing is, and I'm going to show it just in a moment. I don't like writing on my short boxes. It's just a personal foible. I've seen other people that's what they do. Some people use like the blue painter's tape so they can edit or they can put something over it, which is a sharp idea. I've seen some people just write on the end of the lid or write underneath the handle using black Sharpie, and that's okay too. For me, that just doesn't fit my feng shui, if you will. So what I have found works for me is I use these Avery adhesive name badges. You can find these on Amazon. They're about 35 bucks or so USD. And up here, and this is important because you can go to avery.com, you can make a free account there, and they have online templates that you can use to make a printable PDF. You put this in a printer or copy machine and it'll churn it out. And so I use these both to create number labels so I can number each one of my short boxes, but I can also then have some other sort of thematic label. Maybe it's a character or a group or a publisher. So that way, just looking at the box without going to my spreadsheet where I have everything laid out by box number, I know what's in there. And most of the time, this works really well. They come in 35 bucks, so it seems a little salty. You get 400 stickers. I got this one 14 years ago, and I'm just now running out. Okay, so these things, you're not going to use them all at once. It's going to take time. So that's the first thing. The second thing, inside the box, I use comic dividers. I use the BCW brand for a couple of reasons. One, it is a small business inside my state of Indiana in the United States. And so I'm supporting a local business. In fact, it's like an hour's drive away from my house. So that's one thing. The second thing, and this is the most important part, whatever organization systems you are using, whatever supplies you're using, you want to have easy access to them. My LCS carries this brand, and so I get it from them, you know. In fact, I got these dividers from them. My short boxes are also BCW. My bags and boards, I also go with BCW, just because that's the brand I have access to. If I lived in another part of the States or in a different part of the world, if I had a different brand that I had access to easily, that's what I would go with. So I don't want you to think that I'm sold on BCW. I like BCW because that's what I use. That's what's available. The next... and this is a flourish, if you will, that I've been adding in the last maybe six months, maybe 9 months, is blindside labels. This is what they come in right here. I have a couple orders that actually I got yesterday or the day before. So I'm going to show you how I use these. And these allow me to have a more decorative label up here on my comic book divider. And it allows me to visually organize my books. Like I can look right at the label and I know what it is. And it just looks sharp. These right here are $1 a piece. Okay, let's see. The comic book dividers, USD, I think is like $24, and you get 25. So $24, yeah. So it's a little less than $1 a piece, and then the labels are $1 a piece. And then last but not least, because sometimes Blind Science, all their labels are custom. They've made all their labels, right? And so they don't have one for every comic book series. And there might be some curation system that's very specific to my collection. So I have a really simple Epson label maker. I'm going to be candid with you. This was my wife's until she got one that has an app for her phone, and then I took this from her. So I use white label tape because that happens to be the color right here, and I was able to get that pretty cheap off of Amazon. I'd use clear because I think that'd be more versatile, but white's fine. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what my short box looks right now. And then we're going to go from there and look at how I set up my tools for this, how I set up my my supplies, and what the final product then would look like in my short box.
Here's one of my short boxes, and you can see right over here, this is the system I have in place. These are all BCW short boxes. I put the number label right down here. And then I'll have some sort of thematic labels. So this box right here is for Captain America. There's another Captain America box. There's a third Captain America box. One thing I've noticed, and you can see it on this short box right here, this is for Silver Surfer, okay? And this is going to be more galactic Marvel comics. This is box 46. I went on Amazon and they had superhero stickers, and I thought that would just be kind of cool. You can get like 100 of them for $5 or something like this. A lot of them may not be worth your while, and I'm going to be candid, some of them are not safe for work, but that's because honestly they're counterfeit stickers probably. But like this one right here, I thought Thanos fit because this is a galactic Marvel box. You can see right here I'm using this is a Sidekick, and I've already kind of outlined some dividers. These are all my Silver Surfer books, but I have multiple volumes here and miniseries, and then back here, this is where I have other galactic comics. You can't quite make that out because it's off screen. So we got like Timeless, that's another Timeless book. I think I have Thanos. Okay, we got Captain Marvel. I only have these because this was a variant done by Artgerm, and then there was like this Walmart variant, so I thought it was pretty cool. There we go. We got a couple Thanos books. Thanos Rising. I think that's by Jason Aaron. Yeah, this is honestly an awesome series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up more dividers. So right now I have 2099. So these are all my 2099 books. And I'm going to organize this into different either themes, like it could be something galactic or particular comic book titles. All right, so here we have a BCW divider. One of the things I like about these, and I haven't seen these in every divider, something you might want to look for, is this tab right here has a groove, and so it allows it to bend without snapping. This is kind of nice because I do use the BCW comic houses, and these would catch on it, so I can kind of fold them over. And also in a short box with a lid, you can kind of pre-fold these just like this, and so that way the lid will sit flat on it without sitting on this and causing any cracks or anything. Here we have my Blind Science tabs. You can see these tab labels. They're really a nice product. These are $1 a piece, and they have two different types of surfaces on them. One is it's not a laminate surface, but if you had a comic book shop, it would be a little bit more resistant to wear. Those are more expensive than these are. I want to say those are $1.75 a piece. I end up just getting these because they're pretty sharp. So we can see right here, got a bunch of Batman ones. This is the one I need. I need these Silver Surfer ones. Just going to leave that out. Thanos, I need that right there. I don't need any of those. And one thing, and this is a problem with the Blind Science website, is it's difficult to track what you've already ordered, even in one order. So you want to be really careful in going over past orders and even the order you have, so you don't end up ordering more than one label. Let's see. Nope. Nope. Okay, here's a couple more Silver Surfer. Let's double check. Yeah, see? So I was really careful. I made sure I didn't order the same ones. So we can put those aside. And this is blindscience.com. One of the things I've found, and this is me, okay? This is one of my foibles. I want to make sure that when I'm putting my label, it covers this area, right? So, sorry, that's my dog moving my camera mount. Let's tilt that up a little bit. And we're going to zoom in. That's better. Thanks, dog. Anyway, so I want the label up here covering the whole surface. Here's the example I have from the short box with $20.99. I can see just a little bit of the line there showing. It's just a me thing. What I found to line it up easier, so it is spaced evenly, is if you turn this over so the tab's facing you, make sure this is on a solid surface, and then you can try to put the label there. So I'm going to start with Thanos. So I'm putting it on upside down, and I'm just going to cover. It's not going on straight. There we go. So that's pretty good. Okay. So if I put it on this way with this surface farther away, it would be difficult for me to visually kind of line it up. So my spatial reasoning would be challenging. When I do it this way, I can get closer to the surface. I can lean in and make sure I have it. So I'm going to finish up my other dividers, and then we'll go back to the short box. This is, again, one of my foibles as a collector. You can see that the tabs are alternating, but they're not labeled right now. I like having all my tabs on one side. It's just a preference. That way, if I end up with further divisions in the future, they're not like something's not skewed, like they're not alternating or something like that. With a few exceptions, that's what I've done. So you can see right here, I have several Silver Surfer titles in this. Silver Surfer Rebirth, Silver Surfer Black. This is an awesome miniseries if you haven't read it. And then I have $20.99, which I already had in here, and then Thanos. So I'm going to just load this up. So $20.99 was right in the front, and I like having a divider right in the front like this, so that way sunlight or other ambient light isn't coming through the handle and causing discoloration in my books. Okay, we have Death of Silver Surfer next. Silver Surfer. Here's Marvel Age, Marvel Point 1. Okay, so here we have, this is Silver Surfer. These are the facsimile editions, but they're really cool reads. I highly recommend them. And you can see that the font matches, and we got the same face. So I'm going to put that guy right there. And then this is Silver Surfer Volume 2. This was a 2-issue miniseries. It's out of continuity. Stan Lee and what's his name? Mobius did this. Very cool art on that. And then we have, this is Silver Surfer Volume, I think it's 6 and 7. Not finding that label. Yeah, apparently I don't have a label for this guy, but I thought I ordered one, so I need to double check that. We're going to go back here. Here we have some Silver Surfer. This is volume 1 annuals. So I'm going to just go ahead and put, or volume 3 annuals. So I'm going to put the volume 1 right there, or 3. So we got annuals, annual, this annual goes right here now. And then we have Silver Surfer Black, which is a very cool look, as I've said. So we're going to put Silver Surfer Black right there. And then Silver Surfer Rebirth, which was, yeah, Ron Mars and Ron Lim did this. So it's kind of harkening back to that volume 3 run. Oh, that's the wrong one. It's this one right here. And I think that goes up. See, we have another one. So what I'm going to end up doing is the titles that aren't tabbed, I'm going to put them in front of the 2099, so that way I know what's here. And then we're going to have Thanos in the back. We'll come back in a moment after I've sorted this. So here's the final product. Up in the front of the box are all of these miscellaneous books that don't necessarily fit in a particular title or volume. I made a Death of Silver Surfer right here. I'm not sure Blind Science has made a label for this, but I felt that this title really deserved its own space. And then when I'm looking at these right here, going back, I'm thinking of these more rather than a volume, an era in the title. So right here, this 2099, this is not just going to be the newest 2099 books, but this could be any 2099 title I have. It would go behind this until I've accrued enough where maybe I'll differentiate it. Over here, this is volume 1, but I also put this Marvel Age because it's connected to this right here. And this is the volume 2 Silver Surfer. I just put it in here because it's not going to have a tab by itself. This is volume 3, so any books connected to this era right here, we got a Marvel Age, and then we have all the annuals for this particular run. Silver Surfer Warlock Resurrection came out in the 90s during the volume 3 run, so I just stuck it in there. I know Blind Science has a label for it, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to get a label for 4 books like this, especially a run like that. This is the volume 6-7 run by Dan Slott and the Al Reds. This is what got me into Silver Surfer, so I'm putting both volumes right here. This was the first appearance of Silver Surfer's sidekick in that title, so I put it there, and then I got the annual in the back. I've got Silver Surfer Black, Silver Surfer Rebirth. There are actually 2 titles, Rebirth Legacy and Rebirth, and then any book related to Thanos is back here. So we got Cosmic Ghost Rider because he became the Herald of Thanos. And we also have the Thanos title by Donny Cates and Thanos Rising by Jason Aaron. So you get an idea, some inkling of how I'm going to organize as I continue to move forward. And this is going to be both just a time and money investment. Time in that deciding how I'm going to organize, but more importantly, I need to get these tab dividers and the labels. The labels usually take a couple weeks to get, and the tabs, you know, they're not cheap. You know, they're $1 a piece, but when you need dozens and dozens of them for an 8,000 book collection, they kind of add up over time.
So that's my intention moving forward, to going to the collection I have to help it kind of stand out, using those tab dividers, either making my own tabs, labels using a label maker, or getting the Blind Science sorry, labels, which totally pop. That's kind of where I'm tracking with it. I think it does help my organization, my curation stand out, and it helps to just kind of bring it to the next level for me, when I'm looking at my collection, and hopefully when others do too. So please do like, share, subscribe. If you enjoyed listening to me ramble on about how I'm curating my collection and the supplies I use to do that, please still leave a comment. Tell me what you do to keep your collection organized, to help curate it in this fashion. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget, life really is so much better when we read more comics.